Easy as 1 plus 1. Easy peasy.
Neil Brownell, the crazy inventor, here to prove to you that you are amazing. In fact, I'm so positive I can prove to you and your children and all your loved ones that each and every one of them is absolutely amazing, that I put it in writing. In the last number of videos, we've been talking about how science has proven that you were literally made of God. And if you want to go back and watch that video, that's the start of this series. And with the fact that they proved that you are literally made of God, they also proved that there is multiple dimensions, that you are good. You're literally made out of pure energy of goodness. Well, how do you go about using that information to raise your melody as high as you possibly can? Well, last week when we put up the video, it is on the generational curse. And a generational curse, you can go back and watch that one too, but generally speaking, it's when all sorts of junk is put into your head that previous generations have put in your head, and no one's to blame. That's what the video is all about, why no one's to blame. But you still have all of that negative energy and all that negative thought and running around in your head. I know, because I had all of that running around in my head 24/7 for every waking moment for, well, I've only known about what I call a peaceful, quiet mind for a year. And so I had 65 years of having all this junk run around in my head. And yes, it started when I was very, very young, because I was born essentially blind. And you probably know the story, but I'll tell it really quick. Born essentially blind, I was misdiagnosed, and they just thought because I couldn't do anything, they didn't know I was blind, and so they just assumed that I was mentally slow. Well, you can imagine being told every single day of your life how stupid you are, and you can't do anything. I mean, up until I was 8 years old, when I finally got glasses, but even then, I knew I was pretty stupid because I was told that every day. So you can imagine, every day, every second that I was awake, these thoughts would run through my head. And even though I knew they weren't true, because a woman intervened, a teacher intervened, and actually taught me that I have value, which is exactly what I am teaching you, that you have tremendous value. But even then, I couldn't get this stuff to stop. It just kept running and running and running and running, and it was driving me absolutely crazy. Well, science has been messing around with this for, 150 years or so? Something like that. And it's only been in about the last 30, 35 years that they've even come close to being able to deal with all of this information and how to quiet it. And it started with the virtual reality goggles. And they took people that were traumatized, primarily people that were military who had been in tremendous battles and things like that, and they just couldn't feel safe again. And so they used these goggles and ran the battles, some battles through their eyes, and their eyes would move back and forth, and that's what they were telling you, back and forth. And they would also tell the individual that you are right here in this room. You are safe. This happened in the past. And they found that it was extremely effective at dealing with all of this garbage that's been dumped in your head. Well, as you move forward through time, They realized that you didn't need the goggles. You could actually do it on your own. You could, move your eyes back and forth. That's the very basics, to move your eyes back and forth, close your eyes and imagine traumas that have happened and tell yourself that you're safe. Well, with that said, when I studied it, I learned that it was a lot more than that as far as little nuances. You do it this way and it helps you, but you can also do it this way. And because you have multiple ways of doing it, it actually helps you more than if you just did it in that one way. And I couldn't possibly put all of this information into these videos. It would take quite a while, and they wouldn't be as effective as if I just offered them to you at the price of $39.95, because the doctors themselves told me that this was really, really expensive to do. So for only $39.95, I will send a uplifting, a peaceful, quiet mind to you once a month for 12 months. And there's a good chance that it'll go further than that. And if you only pay for the 12, I'll give you the 13th, 14th, 15th, whatever it might be, because I've been chronologing this as it goes. So I really don't know how far in the future that it'll go. But it has gone 12 months. And at this point, I have almost none of that junk ever running around in my head, with the exception of when I'm really tired or I'm so overwhelmed. Then there's just a little tiny faint voice that tries to come through. But in comparison to every single day, every second of every day, I just say, nope, we're fine, we're right here. So I hope that you can take advantage of that, because it's really helped me, and I think it will really help you. Neil Brownell, the crazy inventor. You're amazing, and I will prove it. Order now through, and Peaceful Quiet Mind, you can order at the same place at you'reamazing.com. I hope that I can help you. Thank you.